with Curtis, West Ivy Home Inspections, and I want to talk investors with buying and selling real estate and what you see with them, because here in San Diego we have a lot of investors or investors who think they're investors because they have a little extra money and they maybe have one house that they've invested in, or like even the big companies with inspections.
Yeah, I've seen that trend lately where a lot more investors are using the services of a home inspector. For a long time when the market was really booming, we would do inspections on some of these properties and find a lot of defects in the properties, a lot of things that were really simple and easy fixes. So it was just a matter of time before the investors kind of figured out that their properties will soon start to fall out of escrow if there's a lot of small things. So people have been reaching out to me probably over the last 6 months or so, maybe even more. Have 3 different investor companies that's been allowing me to do re-inspections of the properties. So I'll do it twice. I'll do it once when they purchase the property. When they purchase the property, I'll do the inspection, give that to the investor. That investor will either put it back on the market, like, hey, I purchased this property. This is everything that's going on with it. Do you want to purchase it? And they'll sell it to another investor.
Right.
So they'll do it that way. Or they'll say, you know what, this property is in good condition. I'm going to keep it. And then they'll flip it, new walls, new floors, and all that stuff. And then I'll go out to do like a quality assurance inspection, basically. Just making sure all the GFCI outlets are working, the water heater is installed right, and everything that a potential home inspector is looking for is done on the house.
And I think it's so important because I have a few investors, and this is exactly what happened to us. The first time one of these guys did it, he did not do another inspection. So the new buyer came in, we went into escrow, and I was sitting on the listing side. And the buyer got really freaked out because there was some stuff that, got called out after the flip, which I totally understand, but they were first-time home buyers. They were not from here. They didn't understand everything. And without even negotiating anything, we fell out of escrow. So after that, these specific investors decided on all their deals after that is after they flip it, we do another inspection, and then they can go back and fix those items, which is so helpful. And it's so helpful as a listing agent on that, because we can literally say we got this piece of property, our investors remodeled it, rehabbed it, did what they did. Here's the list of stuff they did. And that's what I do in my open houses. Here's everything they did. But on top of that, we were able to do another inspection. They spent the other $500, $600 to do that. And then they fixed all of those items. And here's all the items they fixed, and here's the inspection. So it's almost like inspected, remodeled, inspected. It's like it's like a clean house.
Yeah. It really gives people a peace of mind when they come in to purchase that property. When a regular buyer comes in, and I'll point out a couple obvious things that need to be repaired. Something as simple as a couple outlets that's loose or installed sideways or whatever it may be. And after they see that, they see a couple loose toilets. Now they're starting to question everything. What's going on in the attic, what's going on behind the walls, things that we can't see. And at that point is where they get the cold feet and they start to walk away. So having someone on their side to double check those things and put in writing like, hey, it's been checked and double checked, gives people a lot of confidence when they purchase.
Can you imagine? I remember going through COVID, and people were writing off like all their contingencies, and thank God, like I was not an agent to be like, who cares about the inspection? Let's write that off, because I feel like there's going to be so many lawsuits with that now, because holy hell, like everybody has issues with their house, and that's okay. We just need to make sure we know about them, and you feel comfortable purchasing the house.
Right? A lot of people, in San Diego, most homes are $1 million. So most people are getting into a property that they really can't afford, or they're struggling to afford. So they have just enough money to take care of the fixes if they move into the house. But if you move into the house not knowing the house needs to be fixed, you're going to spend that money on furniture, paint,
fun stuff.
All the stuff, all the sexy stuff, right? Where the important stuff really needs to be adding proper drainage around your house to keep moisture intrusion from coming in the wintertime, or adding rain gutters, or things that most people won't even really think about. So it's good to be able to allocate those funds to the proper things instead of, all the sexy stuff, right?
Right.
A couch and paint and a new bed and stuff.
So do you typically only really work on the residential side, or have you done some commercial stuff too?
Yeah. So we do commercial as far as office buildings, churches. We've done those, and then multi-family units as well. Fourplexes, triplexes, all the way up to 10. So we cover all those things. We've done a church that was pretty fun to do. It was a church and a preschool.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. And then another fun one we did, just so happened to be another church, but that one was pretty fun. But we do a lot of odd things. So
Yeah. Well, how fun though, right?
Yeah.
Does anything what's your craziest thing that kind of stumped you?
Every time someone's uncle comes to the house and they start to build things, that's when I get stumped. That's when me and my guys are on the text thread, like, man, have you ever seen this shit before? And it may be, it may be a piece of plumbing material that's added to electrical, or piece of electrical material that's added to plumbing. So, a lot of people think if the thingamajiggy fits the thingamabob, then it works, but that's not necessarily the case all the time. So
how do you typically get your clients, especially investors and stuff like that? Are you working with them a lot, or is it
the investors honestly have came from my reports. So I inspect their properties and they see how thorough the report is. And then they reach out to me and ask, hey, can you inspect our properties, going forward? So all of the guys that I've worked with, that's exactly how it's happened. I've inspected their property and they wanted to work with me after that. So I don't physically or intentionally advertise to them.
Yeah.
They kind of, seek me out.
Okay. And then how far do you go within? I know Jared, your right-hand man is up in Ramona area, which is great because it's not right around the corner from you.
No. Yeah.
So how far northeast do you go? How far? Where do you go?
Yeah, so we go all the way from San Ysidro, all the way from Mexico. Basically all the way up to Riverside. So a little bit.
Oh, okay.
A little Temecula.
Yeah.
Yeah, Temecula.
Yeah. Okay.
And then east, we try to stay pretty close to Temecula.
Okay.
We don't go up to Big Bear or anything like that. I did end up really far. I forgot to look it up, but I was really, really far.
I took the job, but
I just took the job. And
Tijuana?
it sounds familiar.
It's pretty much.
It sounds familiar. Next thing you know, I was close to Big Bear. Right before Moreno Valley, right?
Yeah,
before
yeah.
I was I was really close to Palm Springs. I was I messed up.
You're I don't know if that was worth it, but great. Okay, and then I know you have 2 guys?
I have 2 guys now.
Okay, so you're growing kind of quickly too.
Yeah. So it's myself, I have Jared, and then I have Francisco.
Okay.
So Francisco's a newer guy.
Yeah.
He's really good, really eager, really detailed.
Yeah.
He's taking plumbing classes right now to become a plumber. So that's gonna be great.
Okay.
So we'll be able to offer some of those services soon.
Yeah.
And then of course Jared has his construction and then concrete.
He's great.
And construction.
Yeah.
So
He just did a funny one up in Ramona for me. And
Oh,
we
okay.
should have done the video.
Oh.
It's that dome house.
Yeah. He called me and said, "Hey, you need to come do a video here."
Yeah, we can do that
Yeah.
anytime. That's fun.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, you guys, on Addie's San Diego home tours. But professional, I'd love to interview these professionals because you guys get a little taste of what goes into the real estate market, not just buying and selling and the sexy part of real estate, but the ins and outs of my team that really work hard for you guys when buying or selling. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.